How did Raid the Cabinet become his brother and his father?
Well, Raid the Cabinet was out at the owner's property, and he was only about 10 months old at the time.
So he's still being weaned?
He was still on mum. Probably should have come off a little bit earlier, but to say that, he was still only 10 months old. Far too young for what the owner thought would be considered.
He was still really an adolescent.
He was still, yeah, he was a baby.
He was a baby, 10 months old.
And he was only tiny as a baby too. He was only a little fella. And Raid the Cabinet decided that he'd raid a little bit more off his mother, and he shared a bit of love. And the love produced old Archie here, so.
So Mick, how did you find out that Raid the Cabinet was actually his dad?
He was the only colt in the paddock, and there was nothing around over other fences or anything like that, so.
We saw him working today. He's a nice little horse.
Yeah, he's got a really good action on him. Obviously, he'll go out for a spell, and we'll grow him out a fair bit now, and he'll come back a nice horse.
Came out normal, everything's 100%?
Good as gold. Literally the mare, we had to vet out to it. We were expecting 3 heads and 5 legs and God knows what else. But she just dropped down at 8:30 in the morning in the paddock next to the house and popped him out within 10 minutes and got up, and his legs are as straight as an arrow. He seems to be, we're breaking him in at the moment, and his attitude's fantastic, and he's got no issues that we can find or see.
The line will stop with him because he's been gelded.
He was gelded as soon as we brought the pregnant mum back to our place. We brought him back to our property to foal her down, and we gelded him at the very same time. And this little bloke, he was gelded pretty much as soon as his manhood dropped. But we've got the whole family at home. It's quite funny. We've got Raid the Cabinet, who is Archie's father and brother. We've also got Raid the Cabinet's sister and her foal at our place, and unfortunately we lost the mum last year to a snake bite. So, yeah.
But all is well, despite all those things.
Well. Yep.
Raid the Cabinet's, he's one and done.
Yes.
But he's produced a lovely little horse here.
One day, you never know, they might be going around together in the same race.
What did they say at the stud book when you rang up?
The first lady said to me, no, I don't think we can do that. And then she rang me back and she goes, oh, I've just spoken to my supervisor, my manager, who's informed me that in fact you can register him, and this is the process you have to go through, which we're doing at the moment. And we had a good giggle about it. And obviously she said, there's line breeding and then there's incest. And I think we've covered the second half fairly well between this line breeding, but all's actually fine according to the thoroughbred registry.
And I suppose the last question is, and an important one, what are you going to call him? What would you like to call him?
The top name that I want to put in, the owner and myself come up with this, and we want to call him Me Daddy's Me Bro. It pretty much tells the story all in that name.